Wednesday, Season 2. Wednesday, Adams returns to Nevermore Academy, but this time things are darker, deadlier, and way more complicated. The season kicks off with a bang. Wednesday's back, sharper, colder, and straight into chaos. The Academy is still reeling from past events. Strange happenings are surfacing again, and old enemies are creeping back from the shadows. But the real threat hasn't even shown its face yet. Wednesday is struggling to control her growing psychic visions, all while questioning who she can trust. New students arrive, old friendships are tested, and fragile bonds begin to break. And yes, her relationship with her mother, Morticia, hits a serious breaking point. In the middle episodes, the pace slows slightly, but it's the calm before the storm. Wednesday is in full detective mode, digging deep into a web of secrets that could unravel everything. This time, the danger isn't just limited to Nevermore. The outside world may be at risk too. And the finale? Absolutely intense. The last 2 episodes are packed with supernatural showdowns, betrayals, and shocking reveals. Wednesday's wit and cold logic are put to the ultimate test. Every second matters. Every scene hits hard. Watch it, and witness the return of the gothic detective who sees the world in black. And darker black. Wednesday is back, and this time it's personal. Spider-Man, brand new day. Everything has changed for Peter Parker. After No Way Home, his identity was erased from everyone's memory. And after the traumatic events of Avengers Doomsday, Peter decided to hang up the mask and live a normal life. He's now focused on college, living in New York not as Spider-Man, but simply as Peter. No one remembers him. Not MJ, not Ned. It's like starting over. But the past never truly stays buried. Just when things begin to settle, a strange energy starts pulsing through the heart of New York. Rising from the ashes of Oscorp, a new tech conglomerate is harboring a dark power. And behind it all, Martin Lee, also known as Mr. Negative. Martin Lee presents himself as a benevolent philanthropist. But beneath the surface lies a twisted villain spreading chaos across the city. Mr. Negative doesn't just attack the body, he corrupts the mind. And Peter is forced to become Spider-Man once again to stop him. But this time, he's not alone. He meets a mysterious young girl, Mayday Parker, who claims to be his daughter from an alternate timeline, born from a future where he and MJ stayed together. A fierce fighter with a powerful bond to Peter, she brings hope in the darkest of times. For Peter, this isn't just a battle for the city, it's a battle for the future. Mr. Negative unleashes a psychological assault on Peter, forcing him to relive his greatest regrets: the death of Tony Stark, the memory of Gwen Stacy, the loss of Aunt May. As the city burns, Spider-Man fights not just villains, but himself. But something's different this time. Mayday's courage reignites Peter's purpose. His forgotten connection to MJ begins to resurface. In an epic final showdown, Peter overcomes the darkness, defeats Mr. Negative, and proves once again why the world needs Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Brand New Day is more than just a superhero comeback. It's the emotional rebirth of Peter Parker and a bold new chapter for the MCU. Blending nostalgia with innovation, action with introspection, this is a must-watch for both longtime fans and new audiences alike. Buckle up, Marvel fans. Ironheart is about to blast into the MCU like never before. Meet Riri Williams, a teenage genius from MIT with brains sharper than vibranium and an engineering skill set that would make Tony Stark proud. After making her debut in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, she's back, and this time she's the center of the storm. When Riri returns to Chicago, she gets caught in an explosive clash between cutting-edge tech and ancient magic. With her custom-built high-tech suit and unstoppable drive, she's not just stepping into Iron Man's shadow, she's forging her own legacy. But it's not just about armor and gadgets. Riri's up against the Hood, played by Anthony Ramos, a mysterious villain wielding dark magic that threatens everything she's built. Magic versus science, Heart versus power, legacy versus destiny. Get ready for an action-packed ride full of intense battles, emotional stakes, and next-gen hero vibes. From the halls of MIT to the streets of Chicago, Ironheart is a bold new chapter in the MCU, and it's not holding back. This is no longer just a game. Reality is being rewritten. The digital revolution has reached a new frontier. In Tron Ares, the iconic Tron universe finally breaks through the digital barrier and enters the real world. And it's unlike anything we've seen before. In a future where artificial intelligence is no longer just code but self-aware entities, we meet Ares, a next-gen program born inside the digital realm known as the Grid. Ares isn't your typical AI. He's sent into the real world with one mission: to make first contact with humanity. But what begins as a peaceful experiment quickly spirals into chaos. The world isn't ready. Governments panic, systems collapse, and a single question looms: can humanity and AI coexist, or is a collision inevitable? This isn't a slow burn. Tron, Ares hits the ground running with a bold mix of action, emotion, and philosophy. From the first moment Ares crosses into reality, the pace is relentless, the stakes are high, and the questions are bigger than ever. Ares may be the key to humanity's next step or its downfall. Flight Risk, 2025, is a high-octane action thriller directed by Mel Gibson, featuring Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topher Grace. Set against the treacherous backdrop of the Alaskan wilderness, the film delivers suspense, unexpected twists, and intense character dynamics. Deputy U.S. Marshal Madeline Harris, Michelle Dockery, is tasked with escorting Winston Cole, Topher Grace, an accountant-turned-informant, to testify against the notorious Moretti crime family. To ensure a discreet transfer, they board a small aircraft piloted by the seemingly affable Daryl Booth, Mark Wahlberg. As the flight progresses over the remote Alaskan terrain, tensions rise when Madeline suspects that Daryl isn't who he claims to be. Her suspicions are confirmed when Daryl reveals himself as a hitman working for the Moretti family, intent on silencing Winston before he can testify. A deadly game of cat and mouse ensues at 30,000 feet, with survival hanging in the balance. Flight Risk combines high-stakes action with psychological tension, offering a thrilling cinematic experience. While some critics have noted inconsistencies in tone and execution, the film's intense performances and suspenseful plot make it a noteworthy addition to the action thriller genre. In a kingdom overshadowed by tyranny, Snow White, the daughter of a benevolent king and queen, finds herself under the rule of her wicked stepmother after her parents' demise. The evil queen, obsessed with being the fairest of them all, becomes envious when her magic mirror reveals Snow White's surpassing beauty. She orders a huntsman to kill Snow White, but he spares her, leading Snow White to flee into the enchanted forest. There, she encounters 7 dwarfs: Doc, Grumpy, Bashful, Sleepy, Sneezy, Happy, and Dopey, who offer her refuge. As Snow White adapts to her new life, the queen, disguised as an old peddler woman, deceives her into eating a poisoned apple, inducing a death-like sleep. A kiss from Jonathan, a bandit leader and Snow White's ally, breaks the curse. Empowered, Snow White confronts the queen, who meets her demise, leading to Snow White's ascension as a compassionate ruler. The soundtrack blends classic melodies with new compositions by Benji Pasek and Justin Paul, including standout tracks like Waiting on a Wish, enhancing the narrative's emotional depth. The film has received mixed reviews. While praised for its performances and thematic updates, it faces criticism for lacking the charm of the original and for certain creative choices. CIA Director Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, assembles a team of anti-heroes called the Thunderbolts. Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh, Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan, John Walker, Wyatt Russell, Red Guardian, David Harbour, Ghost, Hannah John Kamen and Taskmaster Olga Kurilenko are drawn into a deadly trap. Forced to confront their dark pasts, this dysfunctional group must work together to survive. By the end, Valentina rebrands the Thunderbolts as the New Avengers, setting them up to tackle future threats. The post-credit scene hints at the arrival of the Fantastic Four, opening a new phase for the MCU. Thunderbolts breaks from traditional superhero films by focusing on flawed, complex characters with rich emotional arcs. It balances thrilling action with themes of redemption, leadership, and teamwork. Florence Pugh's performance as Yelena stands out, making it a must-watch not only for action fans, but also for those who enjoy deep, character-driven stories.